So here's my second latest and greatest project. I have a Evinrude starflight boat motor on the back of this boat that we're going to take up to Lake Ontario as our fishing boat, because all the boats we got are nice and new. But anyways, I remember this boat run when I was little. Grandfather and Dad got it running, and I remember every time we went out onto the lake with it, it would shut off. And actually, I think the papers and stuff, got the giant cover sitting in here. And I should be careful on here because it's 2007 and stuff like that. So that was the last time this was out on the water. 2007. Well, that's when the registration is. Oh wait, no, registration expires. I'm just covering it up. I don't know if I can show this or not, but 2008. So just want to play it safe, you know. Weirdos out there. But got the lights. Of course, the train comes whenever I make a video. So down horn. Those are lights. There's no wipers, but it does say wiper on there. Bilge pump. Man. But I got the dash apart here, and here's where the neutral. You see here, this is what switches the boat in and out of gear, and that's the problem I got right now. I can't get it out of gear. So this here is neutral. It's reverse and forward, or maybe it goes this way. I don't know. Can't remember. But anyways, so the green wire is, well, the green wire in the back for the shift solenoid is the neutral wire. So here's my issue. So here's the battery, then there's a main on and off, and if I turn that on I can hear a click, which is my coil, well, the stator, the pickup coil. So what was going on was I didn't have any spark, and I figured, well, you know, there's safety switches on here and stuff, so maybe it's just in gear. Well, the problem was, I don't really know actually, because I pulled this flywheel off and tried to figure out, oh, maybe I just need some points cleaned or something like that. And it turns out this, Jesus Christ, there's 2 trains coming by now. But whatever the hell that was. But I pulled that off and just readjusted the little pickup, whatever the hell mechanism called. It doesn't have points actually. I thought it did. Can't remember the name for it, but I readjusted it. I have a service manual on here, and I readjusted the 28 thousandths on the feeler gauge. So that works good now. I wound up taking this wire off the top here on the coil, and all I did is stuck a screwdriver in there and held it right up alongside here, and created a spark, and wound up getting spark on all 4 cylinders now. Took it up front, tried to test fire it up, and it was kicking over and stuff, but the battery is too weak, plus it's stuck in gear. I took it up front, hooked some rabbit ears up to it. Let me show you what I got for the manual. I've been working on cleaning up the shop. I want to make this area an open work bay so I can work on stuff in here. And then over here I gotta finish that 4-wheeler and stuff. Let me turn on some light in here so you guys can see. But yeah, I definitely been getting somewhere. Not that my shop's usually messy, but I let it get that way quite a bit often, and then I just clean it up again. I actually like to be very clean, but I have a bad habit of being lazy. So I love clean shops, but I'm just my laziness overpowers it, and I get a messy shop anyways. But right here we got ignition system, everything. I don't know where my dad got it. He got it on eBay. I told him to go look for one. If not, I'm not fixing it. So, and that really helped me out. But anyways, so my biggest issue is I probed the wires going to with like a little sewing needle, like going to the shift solenoids. Now I know they say you shouldn't probe wires. I don't know if you guys ever heard about that, but you shouldn't probe wires because they say they can corrode. That's just that's not gonna really happen here. You can see I probed them, but and I was getting 12 volts. Actually, it was a little under 12 volts. It was like 11 volts to the solenoids, and that should be plenty enough to make them work. So with the green wire on ground, I was getting like 11 volts. So those shift solenoids should be moving up, but I think that they're stuck from sitting, and especially since the last time we used it was in salt water. So that's why I wanted to try to fire it up first. So I bypassed the ignition switch up front there, so that way I could fire it up, so it would allow me to fire it up in gear. So that's what I was doing, and then what I just had to do is I had to hook a wire up to here. There was a radio wire hooked up to here when we brought it down, but I rehooked it up again so that way I could jump the starter. But I think the starter's weak and needs to be rebuilt because it's not cranking it over, and that's a good battery in there. So anyways, so I think the shift solenoids are, if I can't free them up by just manually moving them, I have to go in here and remove the bottom, the base here, and drop that out and free them up by hand. And I haven't really even checked the oil, the gear oil on the bottom end here, but it looks like that's what I'm gonna have to do. But this motor does not actually have a lift on it. It's just all done by hand and stuff. It doesn't have the automatic hydraulics that go up. But and then I do have the fuel line unhooked right now, But I'm getting current to these wires here and to like up to here. I'm not getting current over there, so I'll take a look at that too. And if you look over here, I actually tried to start it with the key, and it won't start with the key. And well, I figured I'll turn the key over there, take the multimeter, and test out if I was getting 12 volts in either one of these poles here, and I wasn't getting that. So there was 12 volts coming into here on this point here, which is the where the battery hooks up to, but I wasn't getting 12 volts in these. So I gotta go trace that back and figure out why that's happening. Hopefully it's nothing throughout here, because that's gonna be a bitch to get to, but hopefully I just have a bad switch or something over there. But I know when you push in the switch, and the choke comes on, and then there's a choke relay here. So what this does is like electromagnet, just closes the choke up. So that's fairly simple. But for outboard motor-wise, a V4 2-stroke, it's a fairly simple motor to work on. Outboards in general, if you're a small engine mechanic, only the real little ones are simple to work on. These much bigger ones, you need like a rocket scientist. Doesn't matter what year, especially the new ones with the EFI and stuff on it. Don't even bother. You need a rocket scientist to work on those. But a lot of this little engine, fix your lawnmower, tractor, anything kind of guys. It's a whole different world. But I'm pushing through with it and gonna see if we can get this thing to run. Like I said, I did hear it fire up and stuff like that, so I know it's gonna run. If I had a fuel system, if I had a fuel line hooked up to it, there you go, it would have been sitting there running. But I don't have that done yet and stuff. I gotta first get it out of gear. So pretty much my only challenge right now is to get it out of gear and get the key switch and everything to work, and we should be good.